I want to take a moment to just remember that we're hosting this on the ancestral homeland of the Samish, Swinomish, Tuala, Lummi, and other Coast Salish tribes. And then we're going to get going here. We're going to plow through one poem each, 5-ish minutes tops, and I'll just kind of call your name. Come on up, and we'll get going. We're going to lead off tonight. Okay, so we're going to start off tonight with Leszek Chidzinski from Poland and Seattle.
Well, lovely being here. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sam. I was going to say a couple of poems, but decided on reading one of the poems as in this book. But if I do, there's a tiny preface, which is titled One Line Poem. This poem does not read between the lines. Dumb luck. This poem has really double meaning because it's stitched with the titles, as you might have discovered, of Sam Hamill's poems and book of poetry. Dumb luck. Let's start with gratitude measured by a stone that almost made it to paradise. If it hadn't been for carnal pleasure, the stones would have been moved to destination zero. When poets marched against the war, bombs rained on Baghdad streets. As dumb luck would have it, roses flowered that summer in cradles as deep as the craters of bombs. Thank you.
Okay, so next up we've got David Slabaugh from here in Anacortes, and then on deck we've got Louise Stevenson.
This is the first poetry festival I've been to since I think it was 1973. And before that, when I was in college and we did events several a year called Ars Poetica, R capital apostrophe S, Ars Poetica.
Welcome back!
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So, did any of you guys know the guy that put those on? His name was Ron Bays. Ronald Bays now lives in Laurinburg, North Carolina. No, nobody knows. Okay, who does anybody know Richard Hugo? So I sat maybe 3 times a week in a seminar room with 8 other young poets in seminar. That doesn't relate to anything. Oh, maybe this is about Richard Hugo. There, Hugo. Okay, you know, he was a Boeing assembler. He's, you know, the was a labor job. And then he was like 40 or something. And, okay, he was going and started to take classes at the U from Theodore Rector. Turned him on. He made the Randolph ring. He waited and watched. He heard the distant lake. She loved him from a distance. The end of consciousness walks this way. The kahuna repeated. Dying again after watching Arcturus and Orion partly dim tonight. The young people talk. The path of the birds. Eric the lover. It's just music. Swamp water lily. Riches of a king. Does he ever hear the clear bell tone?
Thank you, David. Next up, we've got Louise Stevenson from Cumberland, BC. And on deck, we've got Jared Leising.
I'd like to thank Paul Nelson, and I'd like to thank everybody here. And I'm from Cumberland, and this is a little story about something that happened in Cumberland. It's called Sport in the Forest. Disoriented bears stumble from caves or hollow logs covered up still with snow after many months of meditation. What's left for them to dream? What do they know? Answer yea or nay, you get a thrashing. Has the wolf Buddha nature? Awoo! A wise owl glides through the quiet woods. Now who chants out the Buddha's name? Who? Who? The bears slide down the snow without a thought, eyes blinking as the sunlight warms their skin. Ancient bear trails lead down to the valleys as hunger pulls the bears along in spring. It's a black bear baby, and she knows what to do. She eats when she's hungry and sleeps when she's tired too. She eats roots and berries, and she homeschools all her cubs. Each bear learns by doing, busting stumps and eating grubs. One huff or cuff from her, and they're up the nearest tree. Furry Buddhas of the forest spend a lifetime being free. But if they're out stealing apples in autumn's harvest time, conservation officers treat it like a capital crime. They shot 40 bears in Cumberland in just one bloody fall. Many mothers, cubs, and boars, sentient beings, one and all. Let the punishment fit the crime. Put them in jail and call it a zoo. They're our lions and gorillas. It's high time we called a truce. Snyder's Smokey the Bear Sutra, a sacred testament to these Bruins. Is the Pope Catholic? Does the bear shit in the woods? It's a black bear, baby, and she knows just what to do. She eats when she's hungry, sleeps when she's tired, too.
Thank you, Louis. On deck, we've got Lorraine Martinvik, but now we've got Jared Leising from Seattle, Washington.
Thanks, Matt. This is a poem called Containers, and it begins with a provocative epigraph from the Modern Language Association. When the source being documented forms part of the whole, the larger whole can be thought of as a container that holds the source. The MLA Style Center. For some reason, the MLA has a problem right now because they don't know how you actually document things, and Netflix is a good example. So you're like, how do you cite a film? Well, the only way you can watch it is to get into Netflix, and so Netflix is a container. And then the film is this other thing inside this thing, and so they're like constantly trying to figure out what to do. And I think it's a funny problem, in part because this is the last thing I think about when I think about writing, how to cite things, but they're sort of scrambling to do it. But it got me thinking about being a container. We've always been the source of something. Self-regard, loathing, loanable funds. But what larger whole can contain us? What Netflix movie are you? The bird box was invented by the British conservationist Charles Waterton to encourage more bird life and wildfowl. More life, more fowl, play with language I shouldn't be using around a person of your caliber, whose internal diameter doesn't evade larger questions like I do. I'm sorry. Maybe I've got it all wrong. Maybe we're Russian dolls, made by Russian trolls. We're just yellow onions. That might explain the tears.
Thank you, Jared. On deck, we've got Paul Nelson. But right now we've got Lorraine Martinvik from Denman Island, BC.
Which is right there, by the way. From a new-ish series called Notes from Betty's Beach. The place I like to sit at Betty's Beach is north 49 degrees, 28.6 minutes, west 124 degrees, 41.5 minutes. Ocean. Ocean, a poem floats, wave on wave, edges under skin, the water deepens. Deepens as ocean's surface scatters light, shadows what lies beneath. Where stories begin, those millions of years when ocean was the whole world. When creatures floated, submerged in fluid dreams you cannot imagine, cannot inhabit. Submerged, you cannot breathe. Waves curl, crest, fall. Tumble pebbles down slope, clatter, roll, pull under, sound gathers to rush the edge. Deepening water edges upslope, pulsed by moon, spills light across the water, reflects the edge where you stand. Waves curl against the skin. Count the pulse between when a wave breaks and the first trace of foam edge. A timeless line turns fluid as breathing. Ocean lays on the shore, line after line. The stories in shreds tangle, float, break, are cast up, origins submerged, subconscious, anchored to the ocean floor. Stories begin as light, refract and scatter through water, a primal language all creatures hear. The singing penetrates skin, wraps muscle, fills the hollow flight bones, the gills, every cell. Immerse yourself. Feel your skin. Lick lips, taste salt water like blood reverberates deep in the animal brain. You carry the ocean inside.
Thank you, Lorraine. On deck, we've got Johanna Thomas, but right now we've got Paul Nelson from Seattle, Washington, and your host for this festival. So please give it up for Paul.
Thanks for staying. As someone said, we've whittled our audience down to a jaded few.
Or the party people.
Party people!
Hardcore.
A Time Before Slaughter is the history of Auburn, Washington, in a reenactment of the history in serial form. And Arthur Ballard was a white guy who had a Muckleshoot nanny, an Indian nanny who spoke Lushootseed, actually southern Puget Sound Salish, Walshootseed. So we went out and got all the stories of the informants, they call them, the shamans and the elders. And when they did a burning for all their ancestors one year, the Muckleshoots burned a plate for Arthur Ballard. Not every white guy can get away with that. Song for Arthur Ballard. Born in Slaughter, October 18, 1876, just this side of Ilolco, 2 years after the presidential order made the place where you can see all over the res. Old Nelson helped clear his Pop Levi's property. Arthur Ballard, born in Slaughter to be a transformer, knew Latin, Greek, Espanol, y Esperanto, transformed through breath and Walshootseed. School teacher, postmaster, secretary, even city clerk, but his real work, transformer. To walk up to the place where he could see all over and listen. Listen to Ann Jack, hear the daylight in graves, listen, hear the silence of Frog Woman and eat pheasant with her one good eye, hear the land of the dead, listen to the sound of one gasping after nightfall, calling the realm of the dead, where Raven looks back, does not listen, his meat turns to rotten wood, his stench revealed. Listen to the blood comes out Tualo Oogs, west of Sumner, the menstruating rock, don't drink the water. Listen, this transformer, ha, ha. Let us draw breath, see who is stronger. Listen, see the belted yellowhammers, the fart that turns men into crows. Listen to Humpback Boy complain about the piece of salmon by the tail. It's not deer gristle. Listen, Blanket Rock could have been a marmot. Don't drink the water there. Listen to she who calls the daughter of thunder. She who sees through one bad eye the realm beyond the veil. Listen, one child of slaughter whose work draws breath, changes worlds, enters a pre-settler time where up is night and down daylight in graves, where Arthur Ballard lives with the daughter of thunder, where people are not people, but snake people, crow people, plant people, medicine people, people the day before, people beyond, where bells are not a crime, where land is in common, where shakers sing, where Arthur Ballard shares bread with old Nelson. Listen, and you can hear the fire that rocks, the blood in trees, the silence of the time before slaughter.
Thank you, Paul, and thank you for everything that you've done this weekend. This festival is, quite invigorating, and it wouldn't happen without your constant and kind of grueling work. So please, thank you, Paul, for everything that you've done. See, next up, we've got Johanna Thomas from Ellensburg, Washington. And then on deck, we've got Stephen Collis. So on deck, we've got Stephen Collis.
Joey!
Barley. B-A-R-L-E-Y. Barley. Noun. 1. A room filled with the scent of laughter. 2. A professional person who clips the claws of canaries, as in, the barley closed her hand around the flutter, then guided the creature's toes toward the jaws of her nipper. 3. Anything resembling dawn when plucked from a small mind, nailed shut. 4. A clutch of emerald eggs, like those laid by a cassowary. 5. A cat's new kittens, drowning in a gunny, a plaintive cry, its echo. 6. The color of tripe, froth, hope, loss. 7. Heads on a stalk, lolling.
Thank you, Joanna. Next up, we've got Stephen Collis from Sawasan, BC. And then on deck, we've got Michael Dillon Welch.
Thanks, everybody. It's an honor to be playing poetry with y'all.
Fucking poetry.
Fucking poetry.
I was fucking poetry earlier.
TMI.
It wasn't your fault, don't worry.
What? Also, I know a few very unique communities around the world that I'm lucky enough to get to know, and this is a pretty special, quirky little community. I love that it roams around its bioregion and rubs itself against trees and sand places. We're Cascadian poets here? Okay. Yes, I do want to punch fascists in the face. But first it's the orange-crowned warbler, the Nashville and Virginia warbler, Lucy's blue-winged, red-faced warbler, and the yellow warbler. I thought they were all yellow warblers, prothonotary and magnolia warbler, black-throated, blue-green, and gray warblers, Grace's warbler, the black-burnian, cerulean, pine, palm, and prairie warbler, bay-breasted, black-pole, red-start, Louisiana, and worm-eating warbler, morning Kentucky, and hooded, olive, rufous-capped warbler. Saying or singing, everything's going to be all right. It's all going to be destroyed. So give me the light of stars that strives to but can't quite reach us, the one whose eyes are struck by the beam of darkness, the wings, blinding forms, beating, piercing all, songs, singing, fragile light spiraling from every wooden window. The time now is for pirates and possibly warblers. Landward forms only amuse for a moment, walls jockey for nations to enclose, oceans to swamp all our canoes at once, the crying out of streets and forests I join, and give me water for spit, Phyllis Webb wrote, then give me a face. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. On deck, we've got Raul Sanchez, but right now, let's give it up for Michael Dillon Welch from Samantha.
Show us your kickball.
What?
You better be bigger than mine!
I'm here today to honor the memory and work of Sam Hamill.
All right.
I like to think that I'm trying to aim at what he was aiming at, if nothing else. This is called Canticle. I can't take it. I can't cure cancer. I can't lick my elbow. I can't lose weight. I can't run a marathon, let alone an Ironman. I can't act. I can't climb mountains. I can't fly. I can't break dance or dance anything. I can't afford a trip around the world. I can't stop hiccups. I can't cook. I can't sing. I can't do calculus. I can't win the lottery. I can't speak Japanese. I can't play guitar. I can't pick a lock. I can't be on time. I can't break down a door. I can't give birth. I can't be a morning person. I can't be disciplined. I can't listen enough. I can't explain the origin of the universe. I can't remember my passwords. I can't obey speed limits. I can't kick bad habits. I can't stop aging. I can't whistle. I can't tickle myself. I can't believe 6 impossible things before breakfast. I can't recant. I can't vote Republican. I can't remember names. I can't do 100 push-ups. I can't save the world. I can't save the neighborhood. I can't eat meat. I can't walk a tightrope. I can't wear plaid with stripes. I can't smoke or do drugs. I can't get a tattoo. I can't shoot a gun. I can't poke a bear with a stick. I can't star on Broadway. I can't be an astronaut. I can't keep resolutions. I can't declutter. I can't read War and Peace. I can't act my age. I can't join the circus. I can't wear a kilt. I can't kill. I can't gamble. I can't rap. I can't give up pasta or cheese or chocolate. I can't stop reading. And thanks to literary lions like Sam Hamill, I can't stop writing.
Thank you, Michael.
You do wear a kilt.
Next up, we've got Raul Sanchez from Seattle, Washington.
Michael, thank you for the nice segue. All right, so earlier it was the last one, so I showed it to a couple of guys. By the way, Paul is wearing Sam Hill's shoes, and I'm wearing Sam Hill's guayaberas. Yeah, his daughter said that, hey, the day of his birthday last year, he said, hey, I noticed you're wearing a guayabera. Come over here. So she showed me, she says, you seem to be the same size as my dad. Would you like any of these? If you don't, the Goodwill will take the best of it. I said, hell no, I'm going to take it. So I got 6 of them in the house, so here's one. Okay, this is a translation of a poem by Renato Leduc, who is used to be one of my father's customers at the restaurant he owned in Mexico City. And First poet I ever heard, I suppose, but I didn't know what the hell poetry was at the time. You know, being 5 years old, I didn't know. I found out who he was after I started reading and writing and researching some of the poets of my era when I was born, when I was living down there. So I came upon with Renato Leduc, and I have all his works. I like this poem because I relate to it, and I'm sure some of us will relate to it as well. So, body parts, here you go. The passing of the years. I'm not glad nor scared about my senile condition thing. I live quiet and comfortable in winter and spring. Lady friends and chums give me the gift of their ease. And yet I do not feel the outbreaks of my deadly disease. With effort and decorum, from stranger eyes I keep natural decay, past years sneaked. Natural decay I hold of many, so many years, cannot be healed with gold. It gets easier with guts, not tears. It all starts when the eyebrows elongate, while we lose our sight. Women don't give a damn, let alone a date. While your testicles lengthen and your penis shortens, the longing makes you sad, and the shyness fucks you up. In the northern mountains, a peasant pontificates. Do not belittle yourself or come up short. Don't even think about walking into a drugstore. And then your teeth rotten, or your skull looks bald. Oh, I hope my rope won't snap. This is the last tug. Then death comes. One day has to come. And since you're no longer strong, to hell with it. Sleep where you belong.
Thank you, Raul. Next up, I'm going to read a poem, a plug. Every August, the Splat puts on an August postcard poetry festival. Some of you probably got these postcards here when you got your gold passes. If you haven't participated in the past, check it out. The website to sign up is on the bottom here. One of the things we want to stress about that is that in the future we want to be able to keep putting on festivals like this and retreats, and the Postcard Poetry Festival is one of our biggest fundraisers, and it helps us to raise money without having to rely as much on grants and outside funding. So please, check it out, sign up. There are already close to 100 people? Over 100 people signed up. So, check it out. And it's also, I'll put in another plug for it, it's also a really great kind of way to keep yourself accountable for writing on a regular basis in a short amount of time. Like you can generate a chapbook's worth of poems in a month. You have to go back and kind of work through them, but it's a good. Some people don't. So I'm going to read one from that I wrote for this last year, and I kind of do these as a sequence all together with a theme, and I was doing a kind of bi-regional theme this year that I titled Postcards from an American Bardo, and the Bardo is kind of the Buddhist place in between lives. So this is Postcard from an American Bardo, number 13. God seems to us partial innovation that supported the economy, great emotion confined in a trivial condition. In contrast with the intoxicated, I remember hiding in an alleyway with forbidden, sacred suspicion of an arbitrary division of humanity. Groups inclined or condemned to sociability. It's time to break the mold ourselves, I said. What else is there that has not not been provided by surveyors dividing up the land. They let the animals die. They let the plants die. They killed the air, a great movement back towards the origin. Next up, we have Nadine Antoinette Maestas.
As we say in New Mexico, low and slow. So, bring your lowriders out. Okay, so I was going to read something that I had written and actually printed out, but I think I'm going to, it's late, it's the end of the festival, this is the hardcore audience, and I've been working on a poem that's a lot more experimental than things you've probably heard me read, and it's a sound poem. And I need to be a little bit mobile for it. So I'm always trying to look, if you've heard my bio, or I like to go running and mountain biking in dangerous and remote places, especially here in this bioregion. At every festival we've been to, I try and at least hit the trail once out on a run or a mountain bike ride. And I'm always looking for ways to incorporate that kind of physicality into my work. As poets, sometimes we can get in these really like cerebral modes, and we're like not aware of our bodies or like the land around us, and like what's happening, like my foot is on the ground, or I've stepped on a rock and it hurts, whatever it is, it's like that stuff is like real and important, and I'm always looking for ways to incorporate that. So I've been working on this sound poem called 17 Shades of Cascadia. To loosen my face. I haven't performed this outside of my shower, maybe like once. So it's gonna be raw. I hope you had something to drink. Green, 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 green. Green, 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 bluish, green, 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 green. Green, 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 yellow, green, 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 green. Green, 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 yellow, green, 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 green. Green, 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 purple, green, 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 blue, green, 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 orange, 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 green, 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 orange, green, 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 green. Orange, 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 green, 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 red, green, 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 red, green, 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 orange, red, green, orange, red, green, orange, red, green, 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 blue, green, blue, green, blue, green, blue, green, blue, green, blue, green, 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 yellow, green, green, silver, green, 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 white, blue, green, 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 gray, green, 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 emerald, green, 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 lichen, green, 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 lichen, green, green, moss, green, green, the ferns, green, 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 the sky, green, 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 from the rivers, green, 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 yellow, green, yellow, green, yellow, green, yellow, green. Thank you.
Thank you, Nadine. We have come to the end of the evening. It has been we are at the end of the evening. But that just gives us more time for drinking. In Sam Hamill kind of fashion, we should all like have have a good sake or whiskey, and cheers the evening and the festival. It's been a great treat. We're going to have one last performance to close this out. Christopher Blasdel from Hawaii is going to be coming up to perform the shakuhachi. So please give it up for Christopher.
It's been a wonderful 3 days, and thanks again to Paul and to Matt and everyone who made this possible. So I thought I'd play a piece of my own creation. There is a 17th century Italian dance form called the saltarello. It's very, very lively. It's kind of like the tarantello. And so I changed one of these into a shakuhachi piece. I call it the shakuhachi tarantello. But first, since everyone's doing a poem, I thought I should do one too, actually. I'm not a poet, but it seems like the only kind of poetry that is knocking around my head are limericks. So,
here we go.
So, just be happy I don't do puns.
You know, the Nantucket Inn is right down the street.
So, this is actually patterned on one of my favorite poems of Sam, which is in the album that I made called Solstice. And it's four kind of separate images. And the last one is the moon, still alone, 10,000 whirling galaxies, and simply the moon. So, a break in our praise of poetry, and outside the Cascadian night speaks to me. The cruel, gloaming sky feels so good on the eye. And what's this? Simply the moon I see. I came up with this when I was sitting down waiting for the
Thank you so much, Christopher, and thank you to everyone who participated tonight. It's been a great night. Please drink up, mingle, chat about poetry, and let's bring out the evening well and meet up again at workshops at 9 in the morning.